Hey, family, Tacc man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Oh, my bad. How y'all doing today? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Today's topic is purpose. Purpose. Don't you think about that for a minute? Because a lot of people don't realize that they have a purpose. And what they fail to realize is you're one in so many. You made it and billions didn't. If you wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallowed, you have a purpose. And I'm gonna take you through there today. Because a lot of times we get caught up in this life, and this life is only passing. And before I get the name of this program is called Tac Through Adversity Come Change by me, Rich Comer. You can find it on Amazon at any time, and the Kindle Through Adversity Come Change too in Kindle. Nephew,
What's good with you?
ain't nothing. Talking about purpose. The night is about purpose.
Yeah.
And like I tell people, if you wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallowed, you have a purpose. You're one out of billions that made it. So God did what he did for a reason. You're here for a reason. You just
Hmm.
have to find your purpose. Like now,
But
while you're here,
how do you find your purpose? How do you know what's your purpose?
your purpose is something that's within you. You see what I'm saying? We look outside for purpose,
Yeah.
but your purpose is within you. It's
Right.
not on the outside. We look to the wrong place. Your
Hmm.
purpose is within you. It's the things that you love to do that you would do even if you wasn't getting paid. You understand what I'm saying? You just went off. But yeah, that's how you find your purpose. Your purpose is something that's already been in you all your life.
Hold on.
All right, no problem. It's something that been in you all your life. And like I said, you'll do it even if you wasn't getting paid. That's the beautiful thing about when you find your purpose, your place in life, what God has for you. Life is beautiful. Like I tell you, my purpose is to help people. And if I didn't go through all I went through with doing the wrong thing, I wouldn't understand how to do the right thing right now. And why I love it is because I have not only compassion, but I have empathy. I can feel the same thing that other people feel. But with like I told you yesterday, when you get the glasses, you see life for what it is and people for who they are, and you don't judge.
I'm listening.
And the whole thing is, you just have to understand they haven't found their
You stole
purpose.
the twin.
And it's only until you find your purpose that life has meaning. You know
Yeah.
how you have that feeling you're going through life, you don't
Yeah.
understand, why your life is going this way or that way. The things you're going through
I'm
are the
listening.
things that shape and mold you to who you're supposed to be. It's your adversities. We all have adversities. Your adversities are different from mine, and my adversities are different from yours, but we all have them. And our adversities shape and mold us to who God wants us to be if we pay attention.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is why this topic is so important is to let people know who don't really understand or feel that they have a purpose, because there's a lot of people who don't think they have a purpose in life. you know it's a lot of people who don't feel love, who think it was a mistake with them being. No, you have a purpose. You just have to find it. And this is the thing that a lot of people are afraid of. A lot of people are afraid of being uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. They're so comfortable with being comfortable that they're afraid of being uncomfortable with
Yeah.
uncomfortability. And what they don't understand is that once you're uncomfortable with uncomfortability, You'll learn to be comfortable with comfortability.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So the whole thing is finding your purpose.
Right.
And the only way you're going to find your purpose is that you have to look within, but you have to heal. You have to go through life's lessons. You have to
Mm-hmm.
heal, then you have to learn the lies from the truth, and then you have to learn how to love. You have
Right.
to learn what love is first. you know like I said, helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. First you have to be able to accept it, because a lot of times we don't know what love is.
Right.
Once you're able to accept it, then you'll be able to achieve it. Now
Right.
once you're able to achieve it, you're going to appreciate it because you know how wonderful love is, and you do everything in your powers never to leave, let love go away. But then and then love is part of your purpose, because
Yeah.
we're brought here on this earth to love, to share love,
Mm-hmm.
to do right by each other you
Yeah.
know
A lot of people don't do that though. Yeah, they'd rather snake you than you know what I'm saying?
no, because see I was just talking to somebody about this today.
Yeah.
Most of the young kids that are younger than you,
Yeah.
they don't understand that there's a God. They don't understand that there's a heaven or a hell. They don't believe in nothing. And then once you start on that road of killing, that's when the devil has blackened your soul. It only takes something drastic for you to come back from that. And then you have to repent wholeheartedly. But until then, you're going to stay on that road. And most of these kids have had rough lives. Their mother or father was on crack, or they had to go through all kinds of stuff. So I get it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to redeem myself, because I know I sold a lot of drugs, man. I fucked a lot of people's lives up, and it wasn't just, you know,
Nah, 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 nah. I gotta stop you there. I gotta
why?
stop you. See, let me explain something to you. We
Hmm.
all got choices in life. Feel me?
Yep.
You made a choice to hustle. You didn't fuck their life up because if it wasn't you selling it to them, it's gonna be me or somebody else. So
Yeah,
you
but the
can't
whole
say you
thing is,
fucked up their life. They fucked up their life. If I choose to use,
yeah,
then I'm the person responsible for fucking up my life.
you're 100% right. You're 100%
You
right.
ain't did
But
shit.
no, but look, but see, me being a part of the human race, not only just because I'm Muslim, is because I'm a part of the human race, and I have a responsibility not to give you poison. So that's the responsibility. No, look, that's the responsibility on me. See, once you
But
have an
see, I
understanding of God.
understand. I understand. I'm sorry to cut you off. I understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
Um, but this is what people have to understand in life.
Hmm.
You have to be accountable for your actions.
No
Just
question.
like that, just like that fiend has to be accountable for their actions. If I choose to sniff and I choose to fucking pop pills and I choose to go and get it from you, and you only bubbling to take care of what you need to take care of. That's yourself, your family, and your bills and stuff like that. That's what you're doing it for. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
know I'm doing it for that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to fuck up nobody's life, but if you smoke it, that's your choice.
Yeah.
You do that, that's on you.
No,
That ain't
no,
on me.
no. And I understand what you're
I'm
saying.
just
Hey,
see, and
hey,
not only
nephew,
that,
listen, I'm saying,
it's a
nephew.
survival tactic.
Look, and look, I'm gonna break it all the way down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break it down all the way from the beginning.
Right.
We're in the position we're in is because we've been systematically put into this position.
I believe that.
When the drugs and stuff was coming into America in the 50s, 60s, we had nothing to do with that.
Right.
It was the government.
Right.
So everything is a part of a system, and their
Right.
system was to do this for a purpose. What we have to understand is that these are the same slave masters from over 1400 years ago. So they're
Right.
still doing the same tactics. It's like now they're trying to red line all the states with black representatives, which is totally wrong.
I
But the
get it,
whole
bro.
thing is this right here. You have to understand this is the system that they put in play, and they not going to admit that they were wrong. Yes, you
You know
understand
what's
what I'm saying?
crazy? I was talking to my cousin about this shit, and we were in the conversation, and we said, you know, it's deep. It's deeper than us. Period. You know what I'm
No
saying?
question.
Now the thing is this: when they did that, they knew what they were doing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
number one. Number two, they feel that we are weak.
No, they feel no, they no. Oh, they know we're not weak.
They
This
know
is
we're
why
not
they
weak.
keep us separated. No,
They know we're not weak, but we
no, they
showed
know
signs
who.
of weakness,
No,
which
no, 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 no,
allowed
no,
them to get in.
no,
Yeah,
no.
look at the Black
Our,
Panthers.
no, look, our weakness is kindness. It's a difference. See, their weakness is not kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Their weakness is evil, where they may think that the evil is strong, but the evil is not strong because, see, this is why this platform is called Tacc. Through adversity comes change.
Right.
And until you go through all the adversities that God has for you, you're not going to understand. This is it's like New Jack City. It's bigger than Nino Brown.
Right.
Just check this out. How is the person that's running the world right now
Mm-hmm.
pilfering trillions of dollars illegally and nothing's being done, but people are still getting arrested for crimes? When the
Uh,
crimes that are being done at the top level are treason to the Constitution and to the government,
I get
but
it.
they still locking people up with little crimes that don't mean nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
this tells you it's three rules: one for the poor, one for the rich, and one for the elite.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And everybody think it's two parties, Democrat, Republican, or even independent, three parties. There's only one party. It's the people who run the world, the one percenters. They call all the shots. And if you don't do what they say, this is one of the things I studied when I did them 28 years in federal prison. I studied them. If you don't do what they tell you to do, they get rid of you. They have people that will come and make it look like any kind of death that you can imagine. They own the
Exactly.
media, they own the banks, they own everything. They can spin a story with ease. So you have to understand that, we have to still find our purpose in this life. You understand what I'm saying? We can't do what they do because if we do what they do, God is going to give us what He's going to give them. I don't want it. My teachers tell me that hell is 7 times hotter than the sun. I can't take a
Mhm.
match burn. You know what I'm saying? I can't take a match
Right.
burn. So how can I deal with that?
Right.
And then you got to drink boiling pus? No, no, I don't want to go there. I've done enough wrong in my life to know that it's time to do right. And that's where purpose comes in at. And then, like I said, you're younger than me and you've gone through a lot in your life, you
Yeah.
know, and the things that I've gone through are kind of different, but the same, but
It's the
on a
same. If
different
not the
level.
same, if not the same, it's similar, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing about it is I finally learned, my purpose. And I understand what God has me here for,
Mm-hmm.
and I struggle with all kinds of things, but you'll never know it because I
Mm-hmm.
keep it between me and God. You understand what I'm saying? When I was in the shelter, right? The dudes used
Mm-hmm.
to come to my bed, right? To wake
Yeah.
me up. And they used to be like, yo, man, this dude is smiling in his sleep
Mm-hmm.
because I'm at peace. You know, and the thing is, right, until you able to forgive everybody and let your past go, and most importantly, forgive yourself, you're going to keep going through that cycle in life. Trust me, it took me almost 60 years to learn this shit,
Yeah.
you know, and me, I wasn't no small fry.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I was big dog for real. A lot of motherfuckers talk that shit, but I lived it. But that's not what I'm proud of. I'm proud of me going from that to where I'm at today. Trying to give people hope, giving them my experience, strength, and hope to give them hope, so that they can, change their life. If I can give somebody something that it will change their life, that they don't have to go through the things that I went through or you went through or the people we know went through. That's a
Uh-huh.
blessing, man. You
Yeah,
know,
it definitely is, man.
and this is what it's about. Right now you in survival mode, you know, and I get it. Been there, done that. But when you get to that place in your life, when you seeking peace and God finally gives it to you, man, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Nah, he gave it to me now. I'm at peace right now. I'm chilling. I ain't got no kids here. I'm doing what I'm doing. But at the end of the day,
No, you're missing
I
it.
don't, I don't
You
want to do it, but I have to
just
do it.
that's not peace. You
So
see
so
me?
what? All
That's
right,
not peace. That's survival. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, right? If they said, "Yo, you can get a job for 250,000 a year," that
I'm
shit
out.
will be out the window.
Yeah, I'm out.
So you're not at peace. You're surviving, and this is why I tell you. This is why, I'm the uncle and you the nephew. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I listen.
There's no
You know
question.
what I'm saying?
No, but the reason why I say
Before I
that,
didn't.
huh?
Before I didn't. And when they one end came right out the other.
Yeah.
But
No, but
today
you're at
I'm
that
I'm
age now.
yeah, I'm taking everything and listening and really absorbing and trying to, you know what I mean, understand everything possible that I can
Taking what you
understand.
need and getting rid of what you don't. Because
Right.
everything don't apply to everybody.
Right. What
You understand what
apply,
I'm
keep
saying?
it. What don't apply, let it fly. That's
There
a
it is
fact.
there. And that's why it's through adversity comes change. And tonight is purpose. We all have purposes. We just have to find it. It's
Yeah.
like a needle in a haystack because we have so many things that's distracting us. A lot of people think the devil ain't real. The devil is
That,
real.
that nigga real as fuck. Let me
And
tell you
he's
what
the
happened.
master. Look, while we sleeping, he's doing
Yeah,
pull-ups, push-ups, squats, and he bench pressing.
exactly.
You
And
know what
let
I'm
me tell you
saying?
this. Let
And
me tell
he
you what
does his
happened.
huh?
Let me tell you what happened.
What's
Harlem
up?
was sitting on the couch in the living room, right? Now, he hears the door. He hears some keys in the door. He says, Yo, Pops, somebody's trying to get in the door. I go to the door, dude's running downstairs, my next door neighbor, right? So he runs downstairs, he gets outside the building. I said, Yo, come here for a minute, man. Let me holler at you. So I bring him back upstairs. I says, Yo, you try to get in my door, dog? He says, Yeah. He says, No, I ain't trying to get in your door. I said, Let me check them keys around your neck. So I go to check the key. His key could get in my door. So I swung, but I missed. You understand what I'm saying? And now the nigga he went and called the police on me and trying to take me to court, talking about I harassed him.
Yeah, but all you gotta do is give him the key. Give him the
No,
key
no,
to your
no.
apartment that
He
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 had.
has he has the key.
Yeah, well, you should have took the key and called the police your motherfucking self.
Yeah, I told my landlord, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't need them people in there, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand what I'm
I
saying?
got you. But the whole thing is this right here. You got to put protection on yourself. One day you come in, you sleep,
Yeah,
and Nick come in your joint and
yeah.
murder you. You know what I'm saying? See, you supposed to have put a police report in. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this man has a key to my house. He tried to get in the door, and my son is right here, a witness. And then I
Yeah.
chased him, and then I took the key and I tried it and it opened my door.
I'm gonna take
See,
my
we
son with me to
civilians now.
court.
We working people. I'm
Yeah,
retired, but you work.
exactly. I work exactly, and I'm gonna
You know what I'm
take him.
saying? So it ain't no thing that we not in the street no more. So it is not no code.
Right.
And then the code in the street is dead. I got told on by a nigga that's a boss. Not once but twice. So it's no code. And I forgive them.
Yeah.
For real.
I forgive him too
Honestly,
because he don't know. He probably don't. He get a little schizophrenic and this, that, and the third. Yeah, I get it. But at the end of the day, bro, I forgive him.
that's
You know what I'm
it.
saying? And I'm not worried
And
about
this
him
is
coming in here trying to do anything because at the end
yeah,
of the day, if he do, God gonna punish him.
no
I'm not
question.
worried about it. You
But
know what
an
I'm
ounce of
saying?
prevention worth a pound of cure.
Hmm.
To be forewarned is to be foretold.
Yeah.
Because you never know what can happen next. He could have some niggas run up in there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What the fuck he got a key to your place for?
Yeah. He
So
said,
you're supposed to
man.
take them keys. Once you see it, open it. Yo, I'm
Mhm.
taking these. I'm taking these, nigga, and I'm calling the police right now. Stay right here.
Right.
Why you got a key to my place? But that's where going through adversity, making the changes in your life to understand that you're no longer a street guy. You're no longer gang banging. You're a father. You're a worker. You know what I'm saying? And you
Mm-hmm.
trying to make a way for you and your children.
Right.
And that's detrimental to your life because you
Right.
don't know what he was coming to do. Man, like man, you asleep. Man, you fell out and had a fit. He came in and robbed your whole house,
Yeah.
or came in and killed you. That ain't
Yeah.
nothing to play with. And see, this is part of how you have to learn your purpose.
Yeah.
And your purpose is a part of everything about you. You shape and mold your life to your purpose. Like now, my purpose is my book, my podcast, and my apps, devices, and business concepts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and once you find your purpose, man, you never work a day in your life. I enjoy talking to people,
Yeah.
especially giving them wisdom. The stuff that I've been through, and whereas, hopefully I can help them so they don't have to go through it.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about in life. You know, like I did a joint the other day about forgiveness.
Yeah.
How can we ask God to forgive us if we can't forgive somebody? You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot we got to learn in this journey, man. This life is just a journey because this we gonna be dead way longer than we gonna be alive.
That's why I don't put expectations on anything no more.
No, it's you have to not put expectations, but look, try to see the good in people, but
Mm-hmm.
always look for the bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because DMX said it the best. Uh Trust and believe in people, but know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So you see them for who they are,
Right.
you know, and you deal with them for who they are.
Right.
It's things that we go through in life called adversities, and these are the things that shape and mold us to who we become. All of
Right.
us have adversities, you know, and until you get through your adversities and learn the lessons, it's just like a kid when they're a baby. They tell a kid hot, the stove is hot. He'll go and touch it anyway, or she'll go and touch it anyway. And then once they touch it, they burn them. They'll say hot. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's a part of the adversity of learning,
Yeah.
you know. And we have to learn. We have to get through all kinds of things. This life is not going to be easy, but if you
Yeah. It's
can make
not.
it through with a good mind, sound mind, you're gonna be
Uh-huh.
all right.
That's
My
a fact.
spirit is good, pimping. And it's just a beautiful thing to be at peace, baby boy. And until you get to where is you settle, you're not gonna get that peace. Just that motherfucker coming into your crib like that. That's not peace because I know that's on your mind.
Yeah.
Of course, where we've come from. You know what I'm saying? We come from, you know, so I
Uh-huh.
get it. But you just gotta stay on point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I am.
And you gotta move right. That's all because that could be a detriment,
Yeah. That's
you
why I
know.
stay sucker free. I'm about to go outside right now because I gotta go take care of something. I'm gonna holler at you when I get back.
All right, big boy. All
All right, on one.
right, you have a good one.
All right, one.
All right, peace. Yeah, that was a good interview, nephew. And a lot of times we just have to help our brothers and sisters to get the understanding because it comes in time. My mother used to always say, "Hard head make a soft ass." And my ass is flat. She beat the brakes off me, man. Because and I realized, man, I was kind of mischievous. But like I said, we talking about purpose. Let me get where I was at. Hold up 1 second. Okay, this is it right here. This is purpose right here. This is a powerful way to frame it. The 1 in a billion statistic isn't just biology, it's a metaphor for impossible odds overcome. You weren't random, you were selected by existence itself. So I tell you, everyone has a purpose. You have to find your purpose. Just like I was just telling nephew, everyone has to find their purpose, and your lifestyle dictates your purpose. You just have to understand it and pay attention. You have to use your head for more than a hat rack. And this is why it's important to pray, because you have to be connected with a higher power. I don't care how you pray, but you got to pray, and you got to ask God. He'll talk to you once you get a relationship with him. But the thing is, try to figure out what your purpose is. And he'll show you. He'll put you in the direction of it. But you got to want it in your heart, not just in your mouth. See, a lot of people just talk it, but they don't live life the way they're supposed to. And that's the most important thing. Once you find your purpose, life is a beautiful thing. And like they say, when you find your purpose in life, you never work a day in your life because you're doing something you love that you would do for free. It's just a blessing that you get paid for it. Here we go. To be purpose, to create and build, to build something that outlasts you, a table, a company, a garden. Your purpose will outlast all that, especially if your purpose is positive. Your purpose is positive. It'll outlast time. It was like I was just telling nephew, we're gonna be dead longer than we're alive. So your purpose, if you have a right purpose, your purpose will outlive thousands of years if you was a righteous person, you did right by people. But if you wasn't, you'll be forgotten soon. To create art only you can make your purpose. Your specific voice, scars, humor, your purpose. To solve a problem you once suffered from others don't have so no okay to solve a problem you once suffered from let me say it again. I'm dyslexic, so forgive me. To solve a problem you once suffered from so others don't have to. I'm gonna say that one more time. That's this dyslexia and this marijuana. To solve a problem you once suffered from so others don't have to. That's purpose. To design a home where people feel truly safe. Your purpose, your family. To write something that someone in 100 years reads and feels less alone. That's purpose. Like I was just saying, it's going to outlive you. Your purpose will outlive you. To connect and heal. To forgive someone who doesn't deserve it, breaking a generational curse. Your purpose. Your purpose is to break the generational curse. Because so many of us hold on. Like I tell people, the past is only a measuring stick for your present. You build boundaries so that people love you, will respect your boundaries, and the people who don't, you let's let them go. Because life is too short, to live with regret, to live with disrespect, to live with anything that's dishonest. To be the person for someone that no one was for you. That's purpose. Showing them how it really supposed to be. You don't stoop to their level. You vibrate on a higher level. Like I was telling the nephew earlier. See, when you vibrate on a higher level, the devil can't even come in your circumference because you're vibrating over his level of influence. This is what you have to get. This is what peace When you get peace, when you get to see the things that God give you, this is when you get to that place. To hold space for grief, your own or another's. Empathy, being able to empathize, that's part of your purpose when you're righteous. To apologize first when pride says don't. You understand your purpose. You understand if you're wrong, you're wrong, you know? And you can't listen to negativity. That's the devil. And pride, what is pride? Pride is ego. And what is ego? Ego is easing God out. So, pride, God said not an Adam's way to pride get into the paradise. So you have to let go pride. Pride is part of the devil's thing, not God. To raise a child who knows they are wanted because you know what rejection feels like. Very, very true. To discover and prove. To find a cure or a small invention that reduces daily suffering. Purpose. Like I tell you, God woke me up for 6 years, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, with ideas. 30 apps, devices, business concepts in this platform, this book and platform, Tacc, through adversity come change. And all the things he gave me is to make the world better. And I love it because that's what I feel my purpose is, to help people to be better and to make the world better. To discover something true about the universe, science as worship. I ain't gonna get into that one. To prove that someone from your background can make it. Yeah, your purpose. Your purpose will make it for you if you do what you're supposed to do. That's why purpose is so important as well. To test your limits and find they're farther than you thought. Your purpose. Because a lot of times, right, we don't think we can be who we really are. You know what I'm saying? We don't think we can be the people that we really are. We don't know that we can go further. Like I give the example when I was in prison, I was running half a marathons. I ain't never run nothing in my life, and lifting weights, pull-ups, all that stuff. I was a monster. I even had a picture. You go to my Facebook page, you can see my picture, you know. But the body is so fascinating. And when you have a purpose, it can go way farther than you will ever imagine. You just have to tap into your purpose. You have to tap into all aspects of yourself, your mindset, everything, to learn something hard and then teach it for free. What I'm doing right now. This is life lessons that I'm giving y'all, not charge. And actually, I'm paying to give it to you. I pay $100 and something a month for these channels and stations, and then the equipment that I bought, all that stuff. But my purpose is worth more than the money, because if I can heal one person in a lifetime, the money means nothing. You know, my gift of giving you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I had to learn through sufferation is all the purpose I need in life. You know, a lot of people, are not happy with their life. I'm happy with my life, and I've been through hell. I've been through hell, and I never let me down. I dictate my life, not people. You know what I'm saying? I make things happen in my life, and I've always been that way. I'm just doing something different. Like I said, over 10 years ago, I reinvented myself and changed my mindset. And this is where I am now today. And I like this person better, because this person doesn't take shit. He's not afraid and he's not going to put himself in harm's way. This person that I am today, I'm not going to go anywhere that I'm tolerated. I'm going to go to places where I'm appreciated. Whereas before it was the opposite. Or be around people when I had low self esteem that didn't care about me, but was only there in my life for what I can do. And see, when you find your purpose, you find you. You shine your true self. And you never let nobody impede or infringe on that ever again in life. And that's the beautiful thing about life. Once you're able to find your way and your purpose, man, it's a cakewalk. Trust me. To serve and to protect, to be the quiet stability in a chaotic room. When you have purpose, you always try to find the right way, the way that's going to be pleasing to God. Because, in a certain time in your life, it's no longer about people. It's about making sure that you have the connection with the Most High. Your purpose is to get back to Him or whoever God is, clean with none of this stuff from the earth, that the pride, the jealousy, the envy, the egos, none of that. You got to let all that go because you definitely can't take no money with you, So, find your purpose, man, to speak for someone who has no voice yet. See, when you have a purpose, your voice speaks louder than a quiet room. You're able to connect with people that are not connectable because when purpose is real, it touches the hardest of the hardest hearts. It's just how it is. It's not me. God made it that way. To plant trees whose shade you'll never sit in. Dig that. To show up to a boring job with excellence because someone depends on you. Your purpose for that time. To protect a child from what hurts you. And this is what TAC is all about. Through adversity comes change. It's about helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. And I'm giving you experiences from my past, the things that I went through, the hardships, the pain, the suffering, so that you don't have to go through. And this is what it's saying, helping people, it's a part of your purpose of everyone. But, we've gotten selfish because the devil is the master of the whisper. To become and transform, to turn your wound into wisdom, then offer it. Like I said, last year, I got shot 9 times. And instead of getting angry, I turned it in purpose. I wrote my book right here. Through adversity come change. It's on Amazon by me. I started this podcast. All of this is less than a year after this tragic incident. So I turned my wounds into wisdom. And this is what a lot of people let pride get in. And like I said, what comes with pride? Ego. And what is ego? Ego is easing God out. You have to let all that go. I really realized this in the last year. In order for you, no question, Pimpin, in order for you to get to where you need to be, you got to go through what you got to go through. And You have to be able to not let this worldly life get you to where it makes your heart black. Because once it becomes black, you know where you're going. Like I said, they say hell is 7 times hotter than the sun, man. I can't take a match burn. Damn sure ain't trying to go there. And that's real. To outgrow the version of you that almost gave up. And see that right there, that's a major thing. To be able to outgrow the version of you that almost gave up. You can never give up. If you fall down 10 times, get up 11. Because whatever God put you through, He gonna get you through. And whatever He's putting you through is to make you strong for what He has for you in the future. Once you understand and pay attention. And these are the things I try to give you guys because without this understanding of life, you're going to be so screwed in your head. This is why mental health is so crazy in the world. Before I got shot, I used to ride the train every day. And I see crazy people all through, and I say, man, how are these people letting these mentally disturbed people just run around like this free? Something needs to be done because mental health is real, you know, and it's a serious thing. To become a person who can handle great responsibility without becoming cruel. And the reason why is because power corrupts absolutely, and absolute power corrupts. A lot of people can't handle power, like what we got right now going on. You know, power went to his head. You know, he wants to be a king, a dictator, a ruler. But God is still in charge. So never fear. Of course, the law is always here. That's why I say, you know, as long as there's a God, I'm gonna be all right. Of course, He take care of His. Trust and believe that. To die having loved more than you feared. That's a jewel right there. You know what it is to let go of all the fears and just be able to love and die on that. Can't go nowhere but up. To find your destiny precisely by serving someone else's, you know, being empathetic, you know, being able to help a person when they can't help themselves. There's no greater feeling, you know, no greater feeling to be able to give what someone else can't and put a smile on some. You know, I don't like only putting a smile on people's faces. I like putting a smile on people's hearts. It's a whole different thing. You have to be able to do it to understand it. And it don't work all the time. But when it does, it's a feeling. It's a vibration. When you're able to not only put it on their face, but put a smile on their heart. Man, that makes my day. To find your destiny precisely, precisely by serving someone else. I just said that one. It's the old age. Spiritual and existential. Why God put you here? Because a lot of us don't think we have a purpose. We all have a purpose. Trust me. Like I tell people, if you wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallowed, you have a purpose. You made it there. Life made it that you existed. To reflect something God wanted to see in the world, and only you can carry that reflection. Everybody has their purpose. And your reflection, as it says, of God is what makes people put a smile on their face and a smile on their heart. And it's an art to it. Everybody can't do it. You know, it's a thing where it's, man, you know, you gotta be chosen, man. You know, but you have to have the right heart. To choose good when nothing forces you to that when nothing forces you to. That's the whole hidden engine of creation. Let me read that again. That's the dyslexia kicking in. To choose good when nothing forces you to. That's the whole hidden engine of creation. You get that? To be a witness. I was here. I saw this. It mattered. You were part of life. You made your purpose a part of other people's purpose, and people benefited. That's the blessing. To struggle because struggle produces the muscles of character that pure ease never builds. Like I tell you, my old head that was locked up with me, all three of my bids from New Jersey. You may have heard of him, Akbar Prey. And this is something that he used to say. He said, what we're going through is something that builds intestinal fortitude, character. And I'll never forget it, how he said it. And that brother is so sharp. He's doing big things right now in Newark, and I tip my hat to him and give him my salams. Um, and that's the truth, man. Struggle builds character when you're paying attention and you got a good heart. To find your purpose, because the search itself is the thing that shapes you into who you were meant to become. Like I was telling nephew earlier, purpose is within. You have to seek within to find what you really like to do that will please God and will help people. And like I said, once you find that, you'll never work a day in your life. Why the sperm cell mattered. You weren't swallowed, spit out, or flushed away. You arrived. That means you're not an accident. You're an answer to a question the universe asks. Your purpose isn't always a grand mission. Sometimes it's just stay, try again tomorrow. Be kind when it's costly. Your destiny isn't destruction, it's who you become while searching for your purpose. And the search itself, that's the proof you already become here. You belong here. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Once you get an understanding of life, and I know y'all probably say you just talk about jail a lot. And it's not that, it's how I interpret things. When you first get to jail, you're scared, you don't understand. It's just like life. And you're gonna make mistakes. But until you learn how to jail, how to really bid and do time the right way, where you mind your business, do your time, and do what you have to do, whereas you can go to any jail in the world and survive, that's just like life. When you find your purpose, you'll be able to deal with anything in life. And like I said, I didn't make these rules. God made them. I'm just here to deliver, and I know what I'm saying is the truth because I feel it in here. And he told me years ago. And like I told you, my buddy Pat, he'll tell you all the things I'm saying now today. I told him years ago when I was going through it, when God was waking me up 6 o'clock in the morning. And I said, this is the brother that I met like a year just before I went to prison. And he held me down the whole way. And this is my brother. He went on to become an anesthesiologist, and doing fantastic, you know. And everything I'm telling you, I told him years ago when I was going through it. It's like I told him I was going to come home from jail earlier. You know, once you got a connection with the Most High, man, he gives you things because you do your part. And that's why I always harbor on prayer. If you give him his, he going to give you yours. Me as a Muslim, it's 5 things that God asks of me. Once I took the Shahadatain is one, pray, zakat, fast, and hajj if I can. These are 5 things that God said if you do, I will bless you. And these are things that I live with now. I had to go through the bad parts of my life to get to this part. Whereas I no longer want to do bad things. I found my purpose. And it's going to take time for my purpose to get to where it need to be, but I'm patient. That's one thing them 28 years taught me is patience. And I know that everything is in God's time, not in mine, you know, and it's not in man's time. Because it's like when the judge gave me the 21 years, COVID came and God said, no, you're getting out. So God can do anything. You just got to trust and believe in him. And the beautiful thing about it, while I was going through what I was going through, he just let me know. And I was telling my boy, and he'll tell you today, everything he's saying, he told me years ago. And that's a part of finding your purpose, you know? And I thank God that was a blessing to me, being able to find my purpose, not being bitter, angry, and seek revenge, but to love and forgive and to spread, you know, love, peace, and happiness to the world. Because this is going around the world. This is, something that it can be a curse and it can be a blessing. So all depends on how you use it. My thing is to help people around the world, period. That's why in 2030, I'm trying to leave America once I get me some money, because this joint is going down in hell with a handbasket, and it's time to go places to help people. People need help around the world, and I feel that, I can die after, I go and help people, make Hajj a few times, travel the world. Yeah, the ship is slinging slowly. No, it's going fast. This joint is moving real rapid, but I just want to live the rest of my life in peace, inshallah. Once I start, making money and going through things, whereas I have businesses and things going on, I find me a good wife, and settle, because I'm more of a one woman type man. I can do the playing around, but I'm too old for that. Because my mind is like I can't take a lot of talking and arguing and all that. I can't do that. So, somebody that's on my wavelength, of course, a lot of guys, they just want to have sex, but what can you do after sex? You have to be able to talk to a person. You have to be able to relate, and that's where I'm at, you know. Love to have me a good wife, but it's going to take time. And you have to have something. I'm a person that firm believes in taking care of my family. I want them to have something, but I want to be able to have something because the man's job is to take care of the family. And it's going to take time, and I'm cool with that. That's why I give myself 5 years to get to where I need to be, and it can happen, and it's going to happen, inshallah. You know, none of this is for nothing. Trust and believe that none of this is for nothing. Everything that I'm doing it has a purpose, and the beautiful thing about it, when you find your purpose, man, life is great. Life is great. Okay, I got to get my kick back right. Hey, Scotty, we got to get this kick joint back on. Of course, I see I only got two video and it's not on live right now. It's prayer time. Yeah, let me see. The Twitch is on. Yeah, I'm on right now. I can see the Twitch. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm live. Yeah. Yeah, but I gotta do the I gotta do the other subscription on the first. I think I'm gonna do it on the first when the money come out. I'm gonna go ahead and do it and put it back on because I only shoot two sets of videos on Kick. You know, we did more than that, but we get there. You know, but right now it's good. Right now we have Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So you know the shorts go on Instagram after this. So we'll figure it out. You know, we just started, so it's a blessing. You know, this is what we got to do. But you know, it's a blessing just to be able to be on here and to that's right, steam ahead. You know, and just get things right, man. You know, life has been great, man. Like I said, I can't complain about nothing. You know, I'll be telling a lie. You know, I would really be telling a lie. But when does understanding arrive? Okay, no, that's not it. Oh, so now I see the no, I know, but it's something else too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when I do the whatchamacallit. Let me see something. Let me see if I'm not live. Well, I'm not live on YouTube right now. But when I do the thing later, it comes on. Yeah, I thought I was live on here. Yeah, but they on there. Yeah, once I go off, it's on there. So I mean that's cool. You know, we're gonna figure it out. You know, we figure out this weekend. I am live on YouTube. Oh, okay, that's cool then. But yeah, today's topic was purpose. You know, it's good. I had my nephew on here. You know, okay, good, 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 good. See on Instagram. See if it's on Instagram. To those who just come on, I see you on there. Platform is called Tacc. Through adversity come change by me, Rich Coma. It's on Amazon. You can buy it. Uh, I guarantee it'll change your life. It's about you know going through life struggles and healing through them. You know, going through all the things I've been through. And okay, I got you. Okay, we take care of that this weekend. Yeah, we take care of that this weekend. You know, because I want to be. But once I put the clips on, the clips go on afterwards. So that's cool too. But I want to get the whole thing live as well. You know what I'm saying? Well, like I'm telling these guys, the new people that are on, uh, you can go back and watch today's program with me and my nephew on purpose. You know, because a lot of people don't understand it. They have a purpose. And like I said, if you wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallowed, you have a purpose. And the universe chose you. You know, you were one out of billions that made it. So you have to understand that your purpose has a purpose. You just have to figure out what your purpose is. And once you embrace your journey, you'll understand your purpose. You know, this platform is not only a platform, it's a program, you know, as well as a book. And the program has 5 principles, 3 articles, 1 healer. Okay, good. Um, and the first principle is understanding there's a God. You must have that understanding. Second principle is understanding wherever you're at in life, God put you there because He's driving the car, and you have to take the responsibility that you may have done something to get you there. But you must ask Him what it is that He's trying to show you. Third principle is embracing your journey. I always say this is most important to me because embracing your journey, you find your purpose. It's only through your adversity change takes place. And finding and embracing your journey and finding your purpose is part of it. The fourth is the wall of adversity, the things that only you and God know, your shortcomings, your fears, your pride, your ego, your self-esteem, all that is on the wall. You must understand that you can't go over it, under it, or around it. You must go through. Fifth principle is making the conscious decision to go through to the road of change. The road of change consists of 3 articles: past, present, future, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And you must go through your what's, when, where, why, how, and sometimes who in each one. Understanding is your past, so you're going to go through all kinds of emotions because a lot of things from your past has you in a state where you can't get over it. So what this program does is help you to get over these things, and so you can departmentalize them and put them where they need to be, and that's in your past, and not uh, keep the future in front and your past in the past. Like I say, your past is only a measuring stick for the things that you liked and back then and you didn't like, and you build boundaries, and the people who love you will respect them and the people who don't won't. So you let them go out of your life because life is too short. And each one of them, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you have to go through what, when, where's, why, how. But when you get to the understanding, you're going to have the understanding of all of this. You're going to have the knowledge, wisdom, and the understanding of all the things that you went through, and how to get rid of them and be able to help someone else. And the last is heal, but it's heal with 3 A's instead of two, instead of one. It's helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. Love is God. God is love. Love is the strongest force in the universe. It can make you the happiest and it can make you the saddest, but it all depends on what you make it and your purpose. So this is what it's about, finding your purpose in life and living up to it and doing the right thing and paying attention because God always gives us signs. Life gives us signs, because God wants us to win. He don't want none of us to go that way, but he loves us enough to let us go if we want to go with the devil. So this is why I said I'm glad I did my wrong when I was young, made my repentance, paid my dues. Now I'm on the side of righteousness, doing the right thing, and I'm not religious. I'm just a spiritual person. And this program is not a religious program. It's a spiritual program for difficult people. And this is just what life is about. Life is difficult. We have to learn to navigate it. And how we learn to navigate is finding our purpose. But we first must go through our adversities to make the changes in our life, to embrace our journey, then find our purpose and live it. This is what life is all about. And this is why I do the things I do to help people to be better and live right. It's prayer time. I thank you guys. Y'all have a blessed night. I had a good show tonight. And I thank everyone for participating. Like, share, subscribe, send gifts, whatever. Ain't no question. You have a good one too, Pepper. And I'll let you tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed night. Tac man out.